up, guys? I am Lee Millican Hubbard. I am at Gainesville Raceway for the Gator Nationals. It's Saturday. It's wet. It's been raining all day, but they did get their runs in yesterday. Everybody got 2 runs. I was going to kind of go over who's going into Saturday, or we don't even know what we're doing because it's just still raining here. But going into Saturday, number 1 qualifier in Pro Mod is Jason Scruggs, Mississippi Missile. He went 570, 253 miles an hour. Pro Stock Motorcycle, no shocker, Gage Herrera, 667. Pro Stock Car, Greg Anderson goes quickest in Pro Stock history, 644. 212 miles an hour. Sets the national record, like I said. Funny car, Jack Beckman. Mr. Beckman is back for the whole season. He went 383, 334 miles an hour. And then in Top Fuel, Antron Brown, the champ, 368, 334 miles an hour. So that's how they're going to go into Saturday. Now, Saturday, they are going, if they run, they're going to have the Callout race, which is a race that from the last season, when they qualify, they get so many points. They keep up with that. Whoever is in the top 8 in the points from their qualifying from the previous season gets to call out in the order that they finished. So Steve Torrance was number 1 in those points. He gets to call out first. The list is, he called out Tony Stewart. Tony Stewart is only in that spot because Tony Schumacher is not racing at this moment. Because breaking news, Tony Schumacher will be with Rick Ware later on in the season. But for right now, he don't have a car. So Tony Stewart gets to get in his spot because he was next. Steve Torrance calls out Tony Stewart. Doug Coletta is next. He calls out Clay, my brother, Clay Millican. Clay came out and said, I want to make a side bet. I want to bet $100 on I want to bet it on the reaction time. I want to bet it on the 60-foot, 330, all the cones going down the rest of the track. Whoever's the fastest, the money gets donated to whatever charity of choice, so that was pretty cool. Then the next one was Sean Langdon. Sean Langdon said, to be the man, you got to beat the man. So he called out Antron Brown. Then it was left Brittany Force and Justin Ashley. So that's how they'll line up. They will actually race for a significant amount of money. I don't even know what it pays, but it's going to be fun to watch. So that's where we are. Right now, I was going to show you 3 highlights. The first highlight was Bobby Bodie and Paul Lee. Bobby Bodie lost his brakes, and it was a near catastrophe down there. I'm going to show that.
Okay, here's our Mission Foods replay. Top end of the racetrack, Paul Lee making an innocuous low-speed turnoff, and Bobby Bodie says, I'll see you on the other side, pal. Holy Christmas. Oh, that was a very, very near miss.
Then I got Dan Mercier in Top Fuel. He lost a tire. That was wild, but he did a great job.
Nice. Here we go. Nice. 379. Whoa, man. Oh, big crash down there, and it's actually a blown tire. A blown tire for Mercier. I saw stuff flying through the air, Joe, and I thought he had gotten into it. But Mercier has a blown tire, 379 for 323. Meanwhile, a 376, a 327 for Doug Foley.
And then, of course, I want to show Greg Anderson's run because it's crazy, too.
They're clean through the gear changes. Anderson's 100th better to 60 feet. Greg Anderson goes 6:44.3. World record elapsed time. That is the quickest time in the history of Pro Stock.
Well, got rained out for Saturday. We've got no runs. The ladder is set by the qualifying that went on Friday night, and we'll show that. They postponed the call-out race till Pomona, so that'll take place a couple races from here. And I'm going to show Pro Mod, ladder, Pro Stock Motorcycle, Pro Stock Car, Funny Car, Top Fuel right now. Pro Mods. Jason Scruggs got Sam Marufkova. King Cartuccio, the man to beat lately, is got Menholt, Gonzalez versus Castellana. Billy Manica versus Ricky Smith. Justin Bond versus Sidney Frigo. Stavarinos has Rivenbark. Wolf has Gray. And Wright has Stan Shilton. Pro Stock Bike, Gage Herrera has got Scally, Flying Ryan's got Klontz, Gadsden has Litton, Van Sant has Bostic, Matt Smith has Bonham, Hall has Tornow, Angie Smith has Davis, and Gianna Evaristo has Markingensaw. Pro Stock car. Greg Anderson versus McGahey. Reese versus Enders. Latino versus Delco. Stanfield, that's Greg Stanfield. Jed Coughlin. Derek Kramer has Corey Reed. Matt Hartford has Mason McGahey. Dallas Glenn has Miller. Troy Coughlin Jr. has Aaron Stanfield. That's going to be a good one. Funny car. Jack Beckman has Blake Alexander. Petragon has Matt Hagan. Paul Lee has got Chad Green. Daniel Wilkerson has Buddy Hull. Bob Tasca's got, that's a marquee matchup. Bob Tasca versus Austin Prock. Alexis DeJoria versus Terry Haddock. Ron Capps versus Smith. I think that's John Smith. And then Bobby Bodie has got J.R. Todd. Top Fuel. Antron Brown has Krista Baldwin. Clay Milligan, my brother, has Josh Hart. Doug Coletta versus Ida Zetterstrom. Steve Torrance versus Doug Foley. Trip Tatum versus Dan Mercier, which I don't know if he'll be there because he had that tire blow, and I don't think he has a backup car, but don't count me. I don't know. Sean Reed versus Jasmine Salinas. Sean Langdon versus Sean Langdon and Justin Ashley. Brittany Force and Tony Stewart. So that's how they're all going to line up tomorrow, supposedly, as long as the weather holds out. It's bright and early, 9:30 in the morning. Top Fuel kicks it off. I'm going to stick at the end of this video. I had a pretty good little chat session with Clay last night about several things, in case you missed that little video I put out yesterday. And check back with me. I'll be live over in the pits on my channel, over in Clay's pit. Just come check that channel out. And thank you guys for watching, liking, and subscribing. Leave me a comment because you know I love them. Got back from the last run of the day. First run, what happened?
First run, put a hole out, so still run pretty good. 78 at 276, I think. That run looked like it probably was going to be a low 70. And then come back tonight and pretty much duplicated that. I mean, we went, what did we go, 71 at 330. Clean. Everybody, when I got out of the car and we all watched the video, everybody thought it had a head gasket out because it had some green flame. But all that really was, when you see here's tech
Getting
information.
some knowledge over here.
Yeah, so when you see some green coming up in the header flames, that's usually a liner, a valve guide, a liner, and it's made out of, I think, beryllium. It's a big word for me. I don't know what it's made out of, but it burns green looking.
Okay,
and so as soon as I got out of the car, my buddy Freiberger, he was down there, and he's like, I think you got a head gasket, but it didn't, but
good.
Either way, it was a good, clean run. So we have now stomped on the loud pedal 5 times on this car. It has went down the racetrack all 5 times. Not all the way to the finish line because the 3 test runs were never meant to go to the finish line.
Right.
But no tire smoke, no shake, no nothing. So far, I'm really liking this car.
It looked really good tonight. I mean, it was just straight, beautiful.
Yeah.
And
I couldn't see, so I couldn't wiggle around. I didn't even look at the scoreboard.
good.
It's dark out there.
It was dark.
And
I think we ended up 8th, and we get 2 runs tomorrow. Call out. Let's talk about the call out.
Call out. So one of the greatest of all time.
Wait, well, hold on.
Yep.
Before, the call out is based on points from the last season. They accumulate. Qualifying points.
Right? Am I right?
It is. It's qualifying points. From the last season, they accumulate points, how they qualify over the whole season, and then the top 8 of the qualifying points get to call out. And Steve Torrance was number 1 qualifier. I mean, number 1 person to call.
Yep.
Call
He was number 1 in the points.
Yes.
I got to be honest, I don't know where Dougie was. Second. And now that I think about it, Dougie was following the ladder.
He was.
Yeah, he was following the ladder. So he was number 2 and he called out number 7. I think that's...
So number 1 was Steve Torrance.
Yeah.
Number 2 was Doug Coletta.
Yeah.
Number 3 was it Langdon? I think it was Langdon. Sure. Anyway, but the bottom up was Tony Stewart got to step in for Tony Schumacher.
Yep.
Which, there's a whole nother story.
Yep.
But anyway, so Torrance.
Yep, so Dougie called me out, and I think he's one of the greatest guys that's ever hopped in one of these things. He's just like rock solid all the time. And I was just thinking when he called me out, I'm like, dang it, I want to go up here and have some fun, but
He's not
Dougie
that
don't
guy.
talk. Dougie,
He's not that
I
guy.
love Doug Coletta, y'all. I'm
Oh,
telling
yeah,
you, he's
yeah.
a good guy, but he's not a talker.
No.
He's just not.
He's not.
And I've done this before when we raced Brittany Force, but I wanted to bet some money on the side. And I'm going to be honest, I told Lee this off camera. Straight up stole my bet idea from Lyle Barnett, Mr. Fajita himself. I bet $100 on everything on the time slip. So reaction time, 60 foot, 330, all the way to the finish line. I think that would be like a $700 bet. And it will go to our charity of choice. I don't know what that would be for Doug. For us, obviously, it's animal rescue. But so we got a little $700 side wager
That's
on
cool.
first round.
Nobody else did that either. Y'all
Yeah.
were the only two. So
I did that with Brittany.
I remember.
Yeah, I bet her $1,000, and
I remember that.
I gave
That was cool.
$1,000 to a military organization because she
Yeah.
married a military man.
Right.
And so yeah, I sent $1,000 to them because I got
I
my
mean,
butt kicked.
it's a win-win either way. Because I mean, charity, you're always doing good
Yep.
with that. So anyway,
And we love sending money to animal rescue. I don't know what Doug's will be, but
I don't know if Doug really understood what was happening, but maybe once he got off the stage, he processed it. It's like, oh, okay. He called me out for some money.
But it's going to be fun.
It is.
I mean, it's fun. You know, the call-out deals are pretty. It's a race within a race, so we really get the opportunity to have two races this weekend.
So
Yeah,
they'll race tomorrow. First
Yep.
round will be the first qualifying
Yep.
session. So
Yep.
y'all stay tuned for all that, and we're gonna let this.
You gonna leave the big story just laying?
Oh, for Tony Schumacher. So do we have any? Oh, well, in case you don't know, Schumacher has joined
Clay Racing.
Rick Ware Racing will be Clay's teammate. That is the winningest driver on the inside and the winningest driver on the outside. So that's pretty cool. Two teammates.
14 championships between us.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Do we know when he will be?
There is no timeline for when Tony is supposed to be on track. Like there's nothing set in stone that he will be at pick the race. We are literally starting from scratch. We have no truck, no trailer, no crew.
Been there,
But
done that.
We've been there, done that. And Rick said he will not do this unless everything's done right and it takes zero away from the car sitting on the other side of this trailer wall right here. The only reason to do it is to make both cars really good. And so I'm actually looking forward to it. I've never had a teammate.
I know,
you
that's so funny that out of all these years.
Well, technically I had a teammate, but he was more of a dictator with a emphasis on the first three letters that I just said there. I didn't really consider that a teammate, but we had that. If y'all look it up and figure it out on your own, but yeah,
Got to do your homework.
got to do your homework on that one. But I think my wife would agree, and I know Lee agrees. But I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome.
I am
mean,
too.
you know,
It
Tony
is.
is obviously a very good driver, and I think it's going to be fun.
I think so too. All right, well, y'all stay tuned. We'll take you along.